Hey guys, it's Dale. I need to share a concept, an idea, a training with you guys. I feel like it'll be very timely. Uh, at the time of this recording, we were getting ready tomorrow night. We're going to feature Dave Buchanan, and I was going to cover this information prior to the interview with Dave. And two things. Number one, I didn't want to take a lot of Dave's time away. And number two, I didn't want to have to rush this because I think it's very timely and it's something I hope you guys will pay a lot of attention to. And I talk about there's four types of IHub team members. I think it's real important that you understand where you are right now at this moment on this path. And I've said it for the last several months since the beta started. This business is built between your ears. It's a mental game. It's a mental game. What we actually do in the market, anybody could learn. We can teach a 6-year-old how to do this, what to say, and how to push play on a video on their phone. It's simple, but it's a mindset game, and it sincerely is. And we have four types of people. I'll say five. The first type, we have a ton of people that have signed up, don't have a clue, never plugged into anything, were never plugged into anything by their upline. And that's why it's so important, guys, when you enroll somebody, get them plugged into our email list so they'll be updated about the webinars and special events that we have. And you do that at CMG Media, CMG iHub Team, .com. Scroll to the bottom, add every new person to the email list, and then get them on the Facebook page. It's just real important that you take those steps because we have people that have never been plugged into anything. So that's one type that I'm not even counting. I'm not even talking about those types of people here. So if we look at this for everybody that sees this, I would say if we just stop and think about it, according to the Small Biz Genius, some of the surveys and data that they've collected, about 86% of small business owners in the U.S. make less than $100,000 a year. Okay, pretty common knowledge. And we could have 20 plus people do that their first 6 months from June to the end of the year with the IHub Meta program. We could have, in a half a year, we could have 20 plus people create that type of income. I have never in 40 years seen anything like it. So there's four types of people. The first, I call them, they're in the whirlpool. They've been here for a while, but they're kind of waver between being frustrated and intrigued by all this. They're just looking. They're kind of out in the parking lot at the tailgate party, and they know there's a game going on inside the stadium. They're just hanging out. They might come on a webinar every couple times a month. Maybe they've decided this is not for them, but basically they're in a whirlpool, and they're feeling when they see things on Facebook and everything that's happening and all the excitement that's being created, they tend to feel guilty or angry or maybe even jealous, and they have fear. And the fear centers around, am I going to miss this? So there's a lot of people on this team that are in the whirlpool. And keep in mind, I'm not complaining. I just don't want people to miss this, and I want you to progress. Because if you continue to do what you've always done from the same mindset you've always done it, you're going to get the same results. And for some of you, that's awesome. But for a lot of you, you want to progress and move forward and take advantage, full advantage of this opportunity. And that's what we want for you. And so that's where this is coming from. And if you're in a whirlpool, you know it. You just kind of, you're all over the place. All kinds of emotions running through your mind on this. And the ability to get focused and move forward is not something you've been able to do to this point. The second type of person, and we have a lot of these, and This week we've had just dozens and dozens, maybe over 100 people have joined our team this week. It's just getting crazy. Uh, but there's another group of people, you've only been with us maybe a week or so, and you're in a studying and preparing mode. And that's great. You're into the videos at CMG iHub team. You're in the back office. You're on you know about the Thursday calls. You're checking out the Facebook group every day, and you're plugged in and you're learning and you're getting the basics down. And that's where you should be, in the beginning, learning, understanding the basic concepts, ideas. There's a lot of moving parts here. Uh, but when you're really going to start learning is when you start talking to business owners. That's when the learning really starts. There's only so much learning you can do behind a computer screen. You got to get into the marketplace. And I think within 7 days from the time a person joins, they should have their list of business owners that they know that have TVs, have screens that they're going to talk to, and should be starting those conversations within a week or so. It's an ongoing learning process, but there's other people that have been with us for 2 months and they're still learning. That's too long. You got to take action. And then the third type, and this is probably the majority, I would say most of the 10 club members I would put in this category. You're in the market and you're learning and you're running into hurdles and questions, and you go on the Facebook group and you ask them and you get replies from other team members. But you're in the market. You're consistently, weekly, in the market, working towards getting in a consistent rhythm and routine, and you're in the process of learning as you go, learning as you do. You're walking into businesses and you think about, what could I have done next time? What will I say next time? So you're in that refining of your mindsets and your skill sets, and you're hopping hurdles. You're moving forward. You're doing well. You are moving forward and doing really well. And the first loop player that you give away is the hardest. Many of you, you're consistently out there learning and kind of surprised even by the success that you're having, uh, because it's not really. It's pretty simple. People either see it or they don't. They see it or they don't, and that's this game. And then the fourth type, you're in a rhythm, you're growing, uh, you're getting new customers, new affiliates, and our customers every single week, every week. Every week you're progressing. Every week you're growing. You're growing your business. You're growing your income, and you guys, they're in that consistent rhythm, that routine, are on your way to creating, I believe, life-altering wealth creation, because that's what's available here. So there's 4 types of people. Where are you? And actually there's 5, but the people that are totally unplugged will never see this anyway. But I would ask you, where are you? Where are you really? And ultimately, if you want to maximize the full potential that this opportunity offers, you've got to get to being in a rhythm and growing every single week, every single month, adding customers, adding affiliates, adding to your income, and working towards wealth creation. So the thing that I really want you to understand, all of you, and I won't be able to say this in the future, but I can say it right now, because I've been trying, and you guys know that have been with us for last 90 days or so. I've been talking about getting your mindset right, getting in a rhythm, getting in a routine. You cannot delay, because this is going to grow and grow very, very quickly. It just is. And there is a path to get you into the rhythm. And right now, at the time of this recording, everybody still has time to follow. to get into this routine, this rhythm, and maximize your upside potential. You have that opportunity, but you have to identify, where am I really, and what do I need to do to move forward and to continue to progress. And I'm going to share something with you. I've changed this up a little bit. Some of you may have seen this in the past, but this was a major paradigm shift for me. It came from a book originally called Chicken to an Eagle, how to go from a chicken to an eagle. And it was written 25, 30 years ago. Phenomenal book. But this is the foundation. And I want you to really stay with me here, because for most of you listening to me, watching me, you are just living your life in your routine, in your rhythms, doing what you do every week. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, somebody shares with you the IHub Meta opportunity. You were just living your life. And granted, all of us have been very disrupted over the last couple of years with COVID and everything, but you were just living your life. And then all of a sudden, in the palm of your hand, lands a ground floor opportunity. You realize, I'm in the ground floor. I'm in the very beginning on the number one income generating business you've ever seen in your life. And I think everybody that knows what's going on here would say that. I haven't met one person that says, well, this is good, but this was almost as good, or this was as good. There's never been anything like this. Many of us have been in this space for years and years. And this is the number one income generating business in your life. And it just kind of lands in your hand, however you got here. And it has unlimited income potential. There's no competition. There's no investment. And you're already seeing mind-blowing stories of the types of incomes that people on this team are creating. I mean, right now, as you guys know, 8 of the top 25 people in this company are on our team. And we've probably had at least 12 that have been in that list at least once or twice. I mean, things are happening, and it's obvious to anybody that's paying any attention at all what's going on. And it's almost just unbelievable. Okay, but we're just getting started, because this type of thing that I'm sharing with you here is what separates teams. When you can unify and people get on the same page and they understand that we're in the people development business. If you build people, people build the business. That philosophy is foreign today. So anyway, let me just get through this. So you just land here, however you got here. And I know I'm thankful, and I know many of you are as well. And so you're living your life. You have these program perceptions about life and income and wealth creation and all these things that make you who you are. And a lot of you on this team, you have what I'll call past MLM baggage and maybe business failures. You failed in business. I've failed in business. I've had businesses that didn't work out the way I thought they were going to. So everybody comes here, and a lot of you have MLM baggage. And as I've tried to communicate many times, what we're doing here is similar to direct sales or B2B sales or network marketing, because we're building teams if we choose to, but we don't have to. But there's a lot of baggage. There's a lot of mindsets. There's a lot of thoughts that you try to apply to what we're doing based upon past experiences. And the reality is, what we're doing has never been done before. It took 3 companies coming together at this time in history. It took decentralized finance. It took smart chains on the smart contracts on the blockchain. And they weren't even available 2 years ago. This opportunity couldn't have even existed 2 years ago, but it's creating a opportunity that none of us have ever seen before. But you come in with this baggage, these program perceptions. A lot of people start questioning their own credibility with people, their communication with people. They start questioning their ability. They start questioning, am I ambitious enough? And they start questioning their skills. So you get into when all of a sudden unlimited opportunity is dropped in your hands, it creates a lot of emotions. And you start questioning, can I really do this? Do I have the skills? Do I have the ability? Can I learn how to do this? Uh, I tried these MLMs before and it didn't work out. Or I had a small business 13 years ago and it failed. Can I really do this? There's a lot of doubt, fear, program perceptions. And then we get into this whole mode of, do I have the focus to do it? Am I able to manage my time? Because I feel overwhelmed. I've got responsibilities with my kids and with my family or my grandkids, and then life happens. A lot of you have gone through life events in the last 3 or 4 or 5 months with kids and grandkids and parents, and life happens. It's going to happen. That's why you run when you can run, because life does happen. So you got all these things going on in your head, and it's created program perceptions about your ability to build a business and make $100,000 a year. It's like, can I really build this business and make $100,000 a year? And I like to use $250,000 a year because I think that's a more realistic number to be thinking about. But we'll say 100. But can I really build this business and create a full-time income, or 250,000 a year? And we got all this stuff, this MOM baggage, time management issues, focus issues, and everybody goes through this, guys. And let me give you the first paradigm shift. Those of you that are concerned, can I really do this? Could I really do this and build a $100,000 a year income? Here's the question you should be asking. And you're going to have those doubts. But here's what you should be thinking about. You shouldn't be thinking about a $100,000 a year income. You should be thinking, is it possible for me to give away 100 boxes? If I really apply myself and if I really focus, is it possible for me to give away 100 boxes? And I'll just be honest, anybody that's listening to this, if you don't think it's possible for you, if you really focus, put the time in, get yourself educated, put those hours in, and if you give this all you got, you don't think there's any way in the world you could ever give away 100 boxes, you're in the wrong business. Just shut this off and forget about it and find something else. And I hate to say that, but it's the truth. You're in the wrong business. So the focus is not the income. The focus is, I can give away 100 boxes. I know I can do that. That's where your mindset set should be. But you still got to deal with life and your MLM baggage and your skill sets and mindsets and the uncomfortableness, the fear of, fight, flight, or freeze idea we talked about in the Saturday training last week. And this is the way we operate as human beings. So what happens is, you've got the greatest opportunity in the history of the world, but you're still working with whatever you're working with here from a mindset and skill set perspective. So then that's step one. So step two, you kind of realize you're stuck in these program perceptions, these doubts, these fears, which all of us were. I'd never walked in a business in my life prior to this, but I understand this process. And I know I have to go through it just like everybody else. So success starts with a decision to give it the best you can, to get plugged in, to participate in the Facebook group, to get plugged in on Thursday nights. Success starts with the decision. So you make the decision that I'm going to try to see things differently, get on my own team, believe in myself. That's the third thing that happens. And then we start down this path and we run into some difficulties. I mean, we run into some difficulties. It's like everybody doesn't see it the way you see it. And So we start questioning our program perceptions. We start thinking, then we do a business that has 4 boxes, and then we start thinking, maybe I could do this, maybe I can do this. We do our first box, and our whole mindset changes. Y'all have experienced that, most of you already. It's like, man, after that first one, everything changes. It's like, I can do 10. I can be a 10 club member. Once you get to 10 club, you think, I could do 100 boxes I could do 100 boxes. And it's just a progression mentally because it's built between your ears. So what happens is you start questioning all these program perceptions. It's like, just because I failed in other MLMs doesn't mean I'm going to fail here. Just because I've never been able to build a team before doesn't mean I can't build a team here. I don't have the skill sets, but I can learn the skill sets. It's just a matter of letting them see the dang on video, and you start getting a real good self-talk, a real good vision about, hey, I can do this. I'm going to do it. And you start down this path, and then there'll be times, you'll have moments where you feel free from all this negative program perceptions. You start thinking, man, I can really do this. But this is a whirlpool right here. And this whirlpool, once you get out here, it's trying to always just suck you back to where you're comfortable. I had an interesting conversation last week with someone, and they said, I feel comfortable struggling. I feel comfortable having financial stress because I've had it my whole life. And now I'm winning, and I'm making money. And it's like, I'm not used to this. I'm not used to this. And I know I'm just getting started, and I know I can do 10 times what I've already done, but I've never had this experience where I'm actually winning. I'm moving forward. So there's a lot, again, between your ears. And what happens is we start feeling guilty and angry and jealous, and we start getting our fear again, because this whirlpool is starting. It's constantly trying to pull us back here in whatever world we were in before the greatest opportunity in the world landed in our fingers, landed in our palm of our hand. Does this make sense? Because this is the process. This is the process. Some of you right now are in this whirlpool. You're just your emotions are all over the place, and it's like you see other people winning, and you believe you can win, but but Dale, I don't have time, or Dale, I don't do this, or Dale, they said this, and I wasn't expecting it, and you get all bogged down, and instead of just focusing on, I can do 100 boxes. I'm going to keep going until I hit 100 boxes, and staying focused there, and keep it. This business is built between your ears. It just is. So many of you have had moments of feeling free from this doubt and fear. And if you persist, and this is what I try to communicate to people, y'all have heard me say this. If you've listened to any of the trainings we've done since IHub Meta started, if you listen to any of my podcasts, eventually you will get so far out here where this whirlpool doesn't affect you anymore. You're so far away from it, it doesn't affect you. And once you get there, you have the freedom to hear your own inner thoughts, creativity, change, and the change of the original programming will start to happen. And y'all have heard me say, the phone is going to bother you, or this is going to bother you, or that's going to bother you, until it doesn't. Taking action, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And eventually it will just become instinctive, where you just do it and you don't think about it, and it doesn't bother you. And you've developed new brain cell patterns, new programming. And that's where every one of you watching this can get to that point where you're just in a rhythm. You're just doing it. You're just making it happen. And it's just second nature to you. But it's a process, and most of it's mental, that you have to walk through and go through. It's the diagram, the process of change, and I've shared it with you here. Again, this originally came from the book called Chicken to an Eagle. If you can ever find it, it's hard to find, but it's worth reading. And what happens is you get out here and you're a new person. And then you come back, and you move back and to correcting your original program perceptions, and you're just a new person here. You're just a new person. You just have new skill sets developed. You can do this in your sleep. That's why you see people like Mike Healy that just came in and his first 7 days put 34 affiliates in the program. Why? Because he's already gone through this. Mike started way back in the day with Excel, so he's already gone through all this. So his program perceptions about his skill set, what he could do, is totally different. Mine's totally different. This is, it's just different. We all grow and learn and get better. But at some point, everybody has to go through this. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. So I'm going to wrap up here because I know some of you are stuck in the whirlpool. You're stuck. And if you're stuck in the whirlpool, the first step to get out is to admit to yourself that you're stuck. That's the first step. Because what we want to do, we don't have enough time. As soon as this gets better, as soon as that happens, as soon as school starts, as soon as school's over, and it's an endless rotation of excuses. As soon as the holidays are over, as soon as this happens, as soon as that happens, and some of you've been playing that game for years, and you're comfortable playing that game, and I get that. Some of you are too comfortable in mediocrity to move forward. And some of you are too comfortable because you don't need the money to move forward. So it's all over the place. And again, I'm only talking to people that say, Dale, I see it. I want to maximize my upside potential with this. So it's all right here. And many people are in the whirlpool for many different reasons. And again, it's not a good place to be because you got a lot of guilt, anger, jealousy, and fear. And the only way to get out of it is number one, admit that you have it. And then you have to have a solid game plan and take action. I'm going to say that again. If you're in the whirlpool and you recognize you're in the whirlpool, the only way to get out of it is to have a solid game plan and take action. I was talking with someone last week. She's been with us since the H&T boxes. And, I've seen her in a rhythm and being productive and making it happen. And she's been in a whirlpool since IHub Meta was launched. And I don't know, she's got to get herself out of it. You got to get yourself out of it. But she said, Dale, I've got a game plan now. She said there's 4 meetup groups in my town, my community, and I'm going to do 2 a week. I'm doing 2 meetups a week. When I plan out my week and she has children, I'm going to do the children's activities, but every week on my calendar, I'm going to do 2 meetup groups a week. And if she does that, she'll move forward. She'll have success. Some of you have to say, you know what? 3 nights a week when I get off my work, I'm going to call on businesses and yank some doors before I go home. Some of you got to take your lunch hour and do some things, but you got to figure out what your personal game plan is because all of us are different. But I promise you, if you don't get in a rhythm and if you don't start moving down this road now, you got to do it now. You got to start moving forward and get yourself in a rhythm like now. Develop your personal plan of action and take action. Your personal game plan and take action. That's the only way out of the whirlpool. That's it. So the way out is to talk to businesses. You've got to talk to businesses. And there's multiple ways you can do that. We cover a lot in the back office on different ways to do this. Without question, the best way, the way people are having the most success after they talk to the businesses that they know, that they do business with, the restaurants, doctor's office, dentist office, insurance agencies. A lot of insurance offices have TV sets in them. The tanning bed, wherever you do business that has a TV screen, go there first. And then after you do that, then there's other ways you can create leads. Yanking doors is what's working for most people, having conversations. You're usually going to have to follow up. I mean, Kamala, who's gone over 100 players, she said that over 80% of her boxes that she's given away, it's come after her follow up with the decision maker. Another great way is these meetup groups. And I know some people are doing online meetup groups. I saw where Kurt Summer out in California enrolled a new business. I think it was last week, maybe this week. And he said it was from an online meetup group. So meetup groups, live or online, uh, some people feel comfortable just calling cold calls to businesses. I know Dale and Sue Whitney, way over 100 players given away. Sue does the research. Dale makes the phone calls, and he walks in on businesses when they're out doing installs as well, but they're doing a lot of phone calls. That's what he does, and follow up, follow up, follow up. It's follow up, and then there's just direct outreach. Where you can send direct messages to people through a social media, through Facebook or LinkedIn, just direct messaging businesses and or potential affiliates. So you got to figure out what your game plan is. What's going to get you out of the whirlpool, out of this feeling of guilt, anger, jealousy, frustration. Only you can do it. But you need to do it, and you need to understand what's going on inside your head and what you're telling yourself, and understand that you can break through that whirlpool and you can get to a whole new level of activity and production. If you can. That's really all I wanted to share with you guys. Uh, if you're watching this Thursday during the day, just a reminder, we have Mr. Buchanan tomorrow night. It's going to be a great Thursday team Zoom, followed by the corporate Zoom. We'll look forward to seeing you guys there. But really take some time and think about this, because this path that I've shared with you here, again, I've shared it with thousands of people over the last 30 years. And the people that take the time to have the self-awareness about what's going on inside their own head and understands this part, that this business is built between your ears, are the ones that will continually progress, get better, move forward, and you won't believe the person you are in a few months. And in 1 year, your mind will be blown. You'll be blown by the person, the comfort zone, how it's expanded, and you'll really be blown away with the income that you'll be able to create. So that's all I needed to share with you tonight. Thank you guys for watching this. It's probably about 2 or 3 in the morning right now, so I'll talk to you here in a few hours. Look forward to having all of you with us Thursday night. We appreciate you more than you know. When you reach the 10 Club, make sure you send me an email, because I can't track that in my back office. It's your responsibility to let me know, hey, I just did my 10th box, because that's going to be a very important part of this whole culture of this team as we continue to move forward. Talk to you guys later.